Hello everyone and welcome to Yoshi 1 Kenobi's Flying Jello deck. In this deck we play Gelatinous Cube because it's an awesome creature that also acts as removal. It's one of those enter the battlefield, exile a creature in opponent control until it leaves the battlefield. Except that you also get to dissolve the creature if it stays there for too long by paying the converted mana cost of that creature +1. So why am I calling this Flying Jello? Well, because we're playing a lot of evasive creatures, mostly flyers. So originally I wanted to play Gelatinous Cube and Iymrith, Desert Doom, because they're two very powerful cards in the DIMIR colors. And Iymrith's a 5/5 flyer, it has ward as long as it's untapped, and whenever it deals damage to a player, you get to draw some cards, which is pretty awesome. I also wanted to play Nighthawk Scavenger, because it trades really well with pretty much anything that mono green is going to put in play, pretty much anything that is a dragon is going to put in play, and also the fact that it's a fairly powerful flying lifelink attacker. You get to trade life and trade attackers very efficiently with the opponent. I also wanted to play Yuan-Ti Malison in my 2-drop because it's a nice evasive 2-drop that keeps on poking for a little bit of damage, a little bit of dungeoning, and get some of these cool and powerful effects in play. In particular, with the second tick, you can go with the Goblin Lair and make a 1/1 Goblin, which will synergize with the Eradicator Valkyrie. So speaking of big flying lifelinkers, with the 4 copies of Nighthawk Scavenger, we're also playing 3 copies of the Valkyrie, which again allows you to trade very efficiently life with your opponent. It's essentially a swing of 8 total life when you connect with the opponent. Also, you get a boast, sacrifice a goblin that you've made with the Yuan-Ti Malison to force an opponent to sacrifice a creature. Not always relevant, but an interaction to keep in mind. In terms of top end, we're also playing 2 copies of Drana, the last Bloodchief. Mostly because it's a 4/4 flyer with very powerful effect for standard 2022, which is it revives a non-legendary creature from your graveyard with a +1/+1 counter. Very powerful with Gelatinous Cube. If you know you only have a Gelatinous Cube in a graveyard, you can attack with Drana, revive the Gelatinous Cube, and exile your opponent's biggest threat or whatever would block the trade with Drana. If it lives, your opponent will not. Then, to continue with our evasive techniques, we're playing 2 copies of Nullpriest of Oblivion, Menace Lifelink. Again, same characteristics as some of our other higher end threats. We also have the option to kick it, again bringing back a Gelatinous Cube, keeping our opponent all jelloed up for the duration of the game as much as we can. If we don't have a Gelatinous Cube, it's okay. We can use the Dragon Turtle to keep our opponent at bay, because if they go at sea, then they're going to get eaten alive. I really like Dragon Turtle because it freezes the opponent's creature and you get a 3/4 out of it, and your 3/5, and the 3/5 is going to untap before your opponent's creatures can attack. We're also playing 2 Grazilaxx. Most of our creatures are very evasive, so we'll turn that into card advantage. Then we're playing 2 copies of Skyclave Shade to deal with these pesky control mages. It's just the threat that keeps on coming back, and because we're essentially a mid-rangey shell, control is one of our weaknesses, so we're playing 2 Skyclave Shades to mitigate that. If you play a couple of games, we can decide whether we want more Nullpriests, more Skyclave Shades, or if you're going to try this in best of 3, you can balance out with the sideboard. And then to wrap up the list, we're playing a bunch of removal, 3 Bloodchief's Thirst, 2 Feed the Swarms, and 1 Flunk. And in terms of lands, I'm deviating from the standard snow lands that everyone's playing to play full playset of Agadeem's Awakening. Still awesome right now, especially since you have it powerful 2, 3, 4, 5 drops. If you get to Agadeem for X=5, you get an armada of powerful effects and hard to kill, well, game-winning threats, I should say. For the same reason, we're playing 2 Pores of Karfell. I really like that card, and I was looking for a home for it. And with the standard 2022 meta being slightly slower than typical standard, now's the time to shine, Port of Karfell. We're playing 4 Ice Tunnels, 4 Clearwater Pathways. Well, we need dual lands, and that's what's available. And a pair of all of the Storm Giants. Again, diversifying our lands as threats to win against these pesky control matchups. So that's the deck list in moderately detailed explanation. So let's see this deck in action with some games and see just how gelatiny and sticky we can get. We're playing Iymrith, Evasion, against Tun's opponent. You know that opponent weighs a lot, because he weighs a tons. Alright, so we have only blue mana. Opponent going first. Do you have a dragon turtle? We have about 3 to 4 draws before we really need a swamp. Alright, we'll open up with a port. The Yuan-Ti Malison is going to help a lot. Opponent's on mono blue. So let's see just how fast we really are. I don't think we're fast. Fairly soon we'll be able to freeze the werewolf back leader. I am not a madman. I shall not block your werewolf back leader. And here comes the mammoth. Play this on black. Sure, opponent are true colors. Pick you the Malison. Scry, because I need to scry. Yes, another black source will be quite helpful, thank you. Stop before combat. Opponent land falls. The mammoth trigger will resolve. And I shall freeze you to the bottom of the ocean. Right, my dragon turtle, dragon turtle, dragon turtle. Or I should say teenage mutant dragon turtles. This is what they look like when they've aged. So I guess they kind of turn into the bad guys now. Well, they're the good guys because we're playing them. Werewolf still hits us. Second mammoth comes in. Played us on black. Sneaky, sneaky. Make a jumping blocker. Bring the big guns. Reaper of Death. Eradicator Valkyrie. Ally of Thor. I'm running out of names for this thing. Pretty soon it's going to be Mother of Dragons. But it really doesn't have anything to do with dragons. I mean, it's from Kaldheim. Well, Kaldheim did bring us Goldspan Dragon, so maybe she's the mother of the Goldspan Dragon. Maybe that's that little red thing we see in the back of the card. Well, we have this really cool icon that's protection from planeswalkers, which we don't see anywhere else. So let's look into that and marvel at the brilliance. As the opponent, Inscriptions of Abundance at sorcery speed. Okay. Opponent really wanted to fight the Eradicator Valkyrie. Now you can't really attack because I'm going to block with a Goblin. So I'll take the beats. There's 2 cards for the Valkyrie. So it's a fine trade for us, especially since we get a Drana now. Drana shouldn't make your life difficult, as we'll put a +1/+1 counter on our dragon turtle, enabling it to block a boosted Kazandu Mammoth or the werewolf pack leader pre-transformation. Also gains trample? That doesn't seem fair. In any case, let's see what you've got. Dragon turtle saving our ship, ironically. We'll get a Vampiric Angel Berserker, unless the opponent does something. Frogbehemoth. That cannot connect. Because if the Frogbehemoth connects, it will exile the Eradicator Valkyrie, so you have to block like this. Take 10. Then counter swing for 10 on our side. Draw a card, bring back the Valkyrie. Yeah, I don't think I can attack with Dragon Turtle. Grazilaxx. Well, let's do the obvious attacks. So the Malison and Drana should attack, because it nets me a card. Any lifelinker. I have 2 more creatures I can put into play, which, now that I think about it, really should have played the Grazilaxx before combat. Get the Eradicator Valkyrie. Draw a card. Then we play Grazilaxx and another Malison. Jump change, jump blockers. But we're keeping pace with a mono-green opponent with board pressure. And as long as the opponent doesn't have too much trampling shenanigans. Alright. Is that too much trampling shenanigans? I have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, so if I survive this attack, I'll get to win the game. So I can block here. I can safely block over there. I can block here. I'll keep the dragon turtle from this. This thing does not have trample, so I'll get trampled for 4, counter swing it for 10. Oh yes, and a lifelink, of course. I always consider a lifelink. Keep bringing back stuff from the dead, because it's an automatic trigger. As we take down mono green in an epic battle of wits. Wait, no battle of wits in either of our decks, but still. Fun game. Fun game. We're playing Iymrith in the DIMIR shell on mtga Arena, Standard 2022. Against Xmizu. Keep this, because we have 3 lands, have bitter removal. Ice Tunnel will go first. Don't have much other than the removal spells though. Carfell. Then we'll play the Clearwater Pathway into Nighthawk Scavenger. Aspirant. Kinda want this to bite the dust. I think in terms of timing, it's better if I actually cast Nighthawk Scavenger this turn. Just to be more mana efficient. Next turn I get to double kill spell, play the Ice Tunnel, set up Drana for the following turn. Carry on Spirit. Opponent's about to go wide and wild. Okay, so it's the white weenies list. So I'm gonna play the tunnels, as planned. Lose life equals to the mana value. So this will kill... I'm not that much afraid of the 3/3. Maybe I should just get rid of the Clarion and the Luminarch Aspirant. In the long run, they're the creatures that are going to kill me. And we might as well get some damage in with the Nighthawk. Or clear the token. Clearing the token is fine, because we'll get a Drana next turn. Mono White's not exactly the deck that has a ton of answers to Drana. Legion's Angel is a very annoying one. Because the opponent just has so many Legion's Angels. Opponent can attack, make another Legion's Angel, we attack, we bring back Scavenger, opponent trades. Then we can Agadeem's Awakening, Fort of Carfell. Still land short. Well, actually, we can Agadeem's for 3. Which doesn't yield us very much. I think I have to attack here. The boosted Nighthawk Scavenger is pretty good. Oh, the opponent let it. Opponent let it go. I'm surprised. Pretty sure that's a mistake. So now we have a bunch of flyers that will trade well. And Drana will just keep that reviving going. Okay, that was the plan. The opponent wanted to make good use of that Skyclave apparition. I will accept your trade. Gain some life. Ooh, and the cube. The cube is just gold here, because we get to exile that Legion's Angel. And we'll get to revive our Valkyrie without taking damage. 5-4 lifelink. That's a turn back. Drana doing some good work. Or can keep on playing those Legion's Angels. But our Bloodchief has them covered. Now I need to attack a bit of these. The opponent blocks the cube. I'm going to exile the Legion's Angel. 1, 2, 3, 4. Goodbye. Go over to trade, gain some life. Get back a token. Might as well pass a turn back. And now with Drana, we can revive the Gelatinous Cube. Oh, that's disgusting. You need something good, opponent. Because I think Drana's got you beat. Yes. Bring back the cube. Exile the angel. And youch. That has gotta hurt. The Bloodchief just dropping a bunch of jello on that angel for a game. And that's how you do it. So we're playing Iymrith with Flying Lifelinkers against Xarada. Yeah, I think this is good. Tunnel, Swamp, Malison, lose a turn, and then we have a bunch of things. Assuming we can top deck that land. This is an acquired skill, trying to top deck for lands. High Twitch, I'd rather play the Malison, because that thing is really good at blocking Skyclave Shades. It's almost like it's its purpose in life. I see you, Shade. You cannot hide. Well, it's a free attack. We'll take it. We'll scry. Lost Mine is pretty much the best one. Flunk is interesting because we don't have a piece of removal. But I'm a little shy on lands here. And I'm the one putting the pressure. Let's play Shade. One probably wants to sacrifice that Eye Twitch for village rights or something like that. Which is a much better purpose than blocking the Shade. I mean, how do you block a Shade? Is it like a reverse umbrella? The umbrella gives you Shade? Alright. Well, we're gonna attack with... I want to attack with just the Malison. But there's also the option of playing the Agadeems and cubing the Shambling Gas. Then we get in for 5. We can put a token on. I like that one. It's oppressive. So based on the timing, it doesn't look like your opponent has a trick. Make Goblin. Goblin's going to be important for the Eradicator Valkyrie's boost ability. Maybe not, as the opponent got rid of our cube of gelatin. Just the Malison, because if we attack with the Goblin, the opponent can block the Malison. Opponent seems to have trouble dealing with it, so we'll pick it up. A big Lifelink flyer, threatening you, little schoolgirl of Quandrix. Zariel. I'm not sold on Zariel. Making you 1/1. Alright, and now what do we do? I will play the island. We can aim everything to your face. Then the opponent can double block Malison, single block Shade, takes 5. Opponent can also single block Shade or double block the Malison here, keep the Eye Twitch, or even block this with the Eye Twitch. Then kill everything because of the -1 and deal 1 damage. So probably don't want to do that. That thing's not legendary. Protection from Planeswalkers. We can also Agadeem back. No, we can't Agadeem back our cube. Alright, so let's just play it simple. Ping you with the Malison. Draw a card. Alright, let's double spell. Let's just cast stuff. Put stuff on the board. Bring our opponent in a position where it's awkward to block with the Valkyries with the Eye Twitch. Spider Queen. That's troublesome. Opponent doesn't seem to get the threat. So we can double attack face. Then I need 6 other mana, right? Blue, black, black, 1, 2, 3. If I pay 3 life, I can Port of Carfell. Bring back a cube of gelatin. Exile the Eye Twitch and kill you in the air. Seems like a good move. Should have made the spiders. Should have made the spiders. We're playing against DMX 360, and DIMIR FLYERS is probably going to be the name of this deck. Ugh. If only I would know that I'd be top decking into a pair of lands, this would be much better. We're on the draw, so we'll keep. Okay. We lucked out on 1. Can we fetch a second land? Malison. I really like the Yuan-Ti Malison. Scrying's good, drawing's good, making little goblin so that we can sacrifice it for the greater good, as my Eradicator Valkyrie likes to say. Opponent is trying to express himself through fire and ice and dance. Finds a Shatter Skull Smashing. Oh, pays for it. That doesn't bode well for the Yuan-Ti Malison, who gets sent to an early grave. I get to play a Nighthawk Scavenger, sorcery instant. I think it's worth it. On the odds that my top deck will land, because I can't play Grazilaxx. I don't have the double blue requirement. Also, Nighthawk Scavenger is pretty good against dragons that our opponent might throw at us. Unfortunately, it dies to Frostbite. I really should bring gloves. And now this is the part that hurts. Because we're giving the tempo deck some time. Treasure token, draw 2, discard 2. Flexibility for a card. Magma Opus. Haven't seen that one in a while. Expressive Iteration. Actually, Prismari Command, Frostbites, and Magma Opus. Am I playing Standard 2022 or Historic right now? That is the question. Drana's tempting, especially with the 4 toughness. And while the blue's down, although the opponent does have the treasure. So maybe the opponent sees it coming. The opponent doesn't see it coming. There's always the option of Dragon's Fire with a Goldspan Dragon. Yeah. Or Iymrith. Someone has to play it. We're a little stuck in the awkward position where we have to play big threats. And we can only play 1 per turn. One wastes a bit more cards for selection and treasures. Although getting rid of that pair of mountains probably feels pretty good right now. On the other hand, the opponent can't cast Iymrith this turn. It's good for me. Never mind. The opponent will cast Iymrith immediately. Or Goldspan Dragon. My predictions are off. I think I want to play the Eradicator Valkyrie here, because it can block Goldspan Dragon. The opponent doesn't have a piece of removal. Oh yes, that's 2 points of mana, of course. Those treasure tokens. Goldspan Dragons into Iymrith. That's rough. Quite rough. Alright. So, we have a Nighthawk Scavenger. We can block Iymrith. Gain some life out of it. As long as the opponent has run out of removal spells. There's 2 dragons, fire 2 frostbites. 38 cards left in the library. 2 cards in hand. Pi is 3.14. Just since I'm throwing statistics, I thought I'd throw it out there. And we're almost dead. Very close to death. I need this to block Iymrith. Next turn I get to cast an Eradicator Valkyrie, and I can still hold the Goldspan Dragons. Of course the opponent's on near infinite mana, and I'm dead to bird. But there are sequences of draws where I can come back from this. And now I draw this Feed the Swarm. My deck is trolling me. So the opponent attacks, I block Goldspan Dragon with the Valkyrie. If Iymrith attack, I block with the Scavenger. Next turn I Gelatin Ooze the Goldspan Dragon. Opponent draws 4. Chances of winning? Near 0. Very thin at the very least. At the most, actually. Chances of winning are always very thin at the very least. It's when they're at most very thin, then you know you're in trouble. Maybe as thin as a chip that you've crushed with a bulldozer. Yes, or one of these big rolling things that would step over that chip and make it really, really thin. Opponent swings, so Faceless Haven's a bit of a pain. I'll go with the blocks. Go back up to 5. Which is still short for Feed the Storm. And we're dead. Well played, opponent. That draw 4 was just a little too much. Having lots of fun with powerful creatures against See Money. While you see money and I see victory. Yeah, this seems good. I mean, we have 4 lands. Some of those are a little awkward with Hailstorms of Giants, but we'll get to play one of those first. Well, actually, maybe Agadine tap, Half-Storm Giants, then Nullpriest or Shade. Something like that. Opponent's on the mulligan. Let's open up as planned with Agadine. The Undercrypt. Opponent appears to be on mono white. So let's see how our list pairs up against this level of aggression. I think I want to play Nullpriest, just to get some of that life total a bit more equalized. We definitely have late game here. As the opponent plays the Righteous Valkyrie. Righteous Valkyrie's tough. Decisions. Well, I'm attacking with the priest. Nothing's sure. I kind of want to play the Dragon Turtle to tap one of these attackers, but if I do that, then I don't get the turn 4 Gelatinous Cube. So maybe I want to go Malison, Ice Tunnel. I think I want to do that, so I can guarantee to play the Gelatinous Cube and exile this Righteous Valkyrie. That just isn't feeling right. Second Valkyrie. We definitely made the right choice. Need to banish one of those. No blocks. I'll get a venture off of the Malison. So I'm gonna play this. I have double blue, double black. I think I'm a little bit more black hungry. So I'll play it this way. Exile the Valkyrie. Keep your life total down. Get a little bit of venturing. Sure. We're playing cube, right? Standard 2020 cube, not limited, standard. Okay. Spellbinder, well, the card we really care about is the cube that's on top of our deck. So I'm not overly scared with that Spellbinder. It's probably going to take out the Valkyrie. And so it should. Opponent has 1 card in hand. Oh, Forest. Opponent's a 3-color deck. I am surprised. So I think here I attack with Gelatinous Cube. If the opponent blocks, I get rid of the Valkyrie. Actually, I can attack with everything. It's a tough block. Well, anything's a tough block for opponent. We have to get rid of this. Deal some damage. And now, treasure or goblin? I think I want the goblin. Mostly because I want the +1/+1 counter next turn. So goblin it is. Let's play this. Pass the turn back. And see how the cookie crumbles. Alright, our opponent was holding up an Innkeeper for a sub round. Okay, it's a lifelink deck. I'm not as scared of a lifelink deck now. Actually, this should be in pocket. As long as we get rid of the Righteous Valkyrie, the opponent has almost no route to victory. So we'll do that. As long as the opponent doesn't top deck removal, we should be in a good space. Let's play this, get the free hit, keep your life total low, and boost the unblockable Malison. Then the opponent resigns. He can't go through, and we can, because we're sneaky.
I hope you've enjoyed this video. Don't forget to subscribe by clicking the Yoshi icon at the right of your screen. It doesn't cost you any mana, and it greatly helps to support this channel and keep the awesome videos coming.